Well, Stephen, you've got to be delighted to be in the semi-finals again, especially with the form that Neil Robertson's got this season, and to beat him 6-2, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, obviously I was expecting a harder match there. He's done me over the last 5-6 times. I don't think I beat him for a few years, whereas I used to have the beating of him. But you know, I had to. We play each other maybe 3-4 times a year, so I had to get one back. So I'm glad it was the Masters. Yeah.
Well, we were kind of hoping that there would be a string of centuries, but even from the start, it was obvious it wasn't necessarily going to be that type of match.
Yeah, it was strange. You know, I was expecting the same, an open match, lots of balls flying everywhere, but just the way it happened, the two of us got bogged down a little bit, missed a few shots which stopped the big breaks happening, and but you just have to win those scrappy frames. I mean, it doesn't matter if you won 6-2 with 5 centuries. We've all did that, or we've all made 3 centuries, whatever. But the frames that take half an hour, they're probably more important.
And there have been so many 6-5 comebacks. You know, you got the 3-0 lead, but when he got a couple of frames back, did you start to think, hang on a minute, I could get drawn into a real slugfest here?
No, it crossed my mind, but I also knew when I was 3-0 up, I wasn't playing. You know, I wasn't playing good enough to be 3-0 up. I didn't think so. I knew I still had to up my game, because if I never Neil was going to come back, which he did, and I was pleased when he did come back to 3-2. I seemed to play better from 3-2. Went for some long shots and they all went in, which made the difference.
And we understand you've got your mum to thank for that performance last night. So you had a bout of tonsillitis which came out of nowhere.
Just Wednesday morning, felt good. Obviously played the match on Monday, felt okay Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning. You know, I get it 2-3 times a year, and I felt it coming Wednesday. Started swallowing all the lozenges and that, couldn't catch it. And lucky enough, my mum, she done wonders, you know, up the road. Managed to get the prescription sent down, got the antibiotics yesterday, and you know, that 24 hours has just done me the life a good.
So you're feeling fine now?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine now. I'll just, you know, I have to take it for 7 days, which, you know, no problem anyway. But I was ready. I was seriously ready to pull out the tournament because I couldn't play. If it was last night, I wouldn't have played. I just couldn't leave the bed. So the extra 24 hours done me a wonder of good.
And how much confidence do you take from beating Neil with the form he's got into the semi-final against Ronnie? Because you are really going to need your A game, especially after what we saw from him this afternoon against Ricky Walden.
Yeah, you know, I'll not take too much from that game because I think I played better in the first match than what I did there. So if anything, it was a little bit of a step down. Neil wasn't at the races today at all, but a different day tomorrow. I'm through at the semi-finals. I think this is my 4th time in the semis, so I think I'm due a win. Ronnie's beat me in the semis before, so we'll see how it goes. And if I play well, I know I can beat anyone.
Well, you're not the type of player to be intimidated by an opponent, but what Ronnie did this afternoon was pretty remarkable against Ricky. Do you take much notice of that, or is that not something that sort of intimidates you going into the semi-final, or all that will be written about what he did in that match this afternoon?
No, I hope everybody writes about him, and which they do, talk about him, big him up, put all the pressure on him. It's his hometown. He's probably 1 to 100 on. I'll go in as the underdog. I'm happy as that, and you know, hopefully just pick up the pieces. If he leaves me anything, I'll pick them up, and if he doesn't, then you know, I'll be trying to make my own chances. And if they go in, you know, I don't fear anyone.
Looking back to the Welsh Open win, it had been a little while before you'd won a ranking event. Do you think that was a little bit of a kick in the right direction, that you were winning tournaments again, because it had been a little while before that?
Yeah, it must have helped. That was a few years that I never won a title, a couple of finals, and the finals hurt. When you lose the final, it really hurts. So to get that win under my belt back in February, just put me back in the winners' enclosure and put me in the champions of champions. You know, one table set up, put me back with the big boys. So it definitely helped that win in the Welsh.
Well, good luck against Ronnie in the semi. It's going to be a fantastic night tomorrow.
Hope so. Yep.